This gives high-performing people who don't identify with normal an actual blueprint for how to get to that next level with their health.
100%. As you know, I've been in this space for 12 years. OG on Instagram with the first PDF training program. And all of that was great. We changed a lot of lives. I needed something to sink my teeth into that could really make a difference based on data.
In today's episode, Deep, an agency owner who's generated hundreds of millions of views for his clients, sits down with Michael Morelli, a performance health engineer who went from being addicted to drugs and alcohol to building multiple seven-figure fitness companies and revolutionizing health worldwide.
So what we're giving is certainty because we're giving you all of this data and you're sitting down and you have the most in-depth understanding of your body that you've ever had in your life. Now you have a level of certainty that you've never had before. And what happens when you are certain, when you are clear? You have confidence, leads to motivation, leads to momentum. And so we're taking guys who never thought that they could be fit in their life to being completely unrecognizable in a matter of months.
Michael Morelli, welcome to the It's Not That Deep podcast, brother.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, grateful to be here, man.
I'm going to dive right in. How would you be as a father if you never got sober?
Really? Right out the gate? You're going to hit me with that?
That's exactly what I'm going to do.
Well, I don't know if I'd be here. And I'm going to try not to get emotional because my daughter, that angel, was sent from heaven above to save me. I don't think people really understand just how addicted I was. So I started using ecstasy first at 19 years old. I was sober all the way through high school. A lot of my friends would drink. And I was sober all the way through high school. And then at 19, I found ecstasy in the underground raves, and I was addicted to ecstasy. And then that just opened the door for all sorts of drugs. Cocaine, alcohol, opioids. I mean, for the better part of a decade, I was under the influence of some substance more than I was sober. From 19 to 31. 31, all of a sudden, I'm pregnant. I'm like, what? It's not mine. There's no way it's mine. Couldn't even take care of myself. So I was going through bankruptcy. I was going through a divorce because the woman who said, I have your child, I was having an affair on my wife at the time. So all of a sudden, on top of going through bankruptcy, I'm going through a divorce, I'm addicted, and now I'm going to be a father. And I'm like, no. Little did I know that it was the biggest blessing of my life. Because in that moment, I'm like, there's just no way I'm going to be a deadbeat dad. There's just absolutely no way. Like, I'm going to be here for this little girl. And I got sober. Found Jesus. Went deep into the Bible. Got really fit. Like, I really just went all in on working on myself. And over 113 days, I went from 25% body fat down to 8, which literally ignited this entire thing. It's why I'm here right now with you, D.
Wow, brother. I honor that. Thank you for sharing that. I think it's such an important way to start the podcast on that note because of the conviction. I see it in all of your content, in everything. It's grounded in this really strong why. And I mean, I'll ask you, what is that why? But I already know the answer.
Yeah, the why is, initially it was that little girl. Now it's my family. Now it's helping other men realize their full potential. Because I know when I change a man's life, when I change a father's life, that is going to have a ripple effect, and his lives and his kids' lives are effectively changed forever as a result of him changing his life and showing up the best man he can be.
What keeps people stuck in that pattern of abuse and drugs? Because it starts off fun, right? But then it becomes not so fun.
I think initially, right, it's an escape, right? Let's be truthful here, right? It's an escape. We are escaping. We are numbing the pain. And I've got a childhood, just like I'm sure a lot of the guys who are watching, right? My father didn't have a great relationship with him. Never heard, son, I'm proud of you. And so it was always to get his approval. Even today, God rest his soul, he's not here. a lot of the stuff is wanting to just hear that one time, like, Michael, I'm proud of you. So it's the escape. It's the numbing of the pain.
Yeah. I could totally relate with that. Since 14, I've been drinking, and was always social. I wasn't much of a solo drinker. And for me, I always kind of wrote it off as like, come on. I work hard. Let me enjoy a few drinks. Let me blow off some steam. And it's such an uphill battle, I find, in our culture and our society, because it's so ingrained in just every movie you watch. The alpha male in a suit is, rolling around a whiskey, or every UFC fight is sponsored by Modelo, or every football game, or everything. There's a bar on every corner of America where you can drink yourself to death.
Yes.
And people do all the time. And so for me, I'm not going to say that I've gone fully sober, but I've stopped drinking. It's been now 2 months. I haven't had a drink.
Dry?
Dry, completely dry.
And how do you feel?
Fucking amazing.
Right?
And I don't even really want to return to drinking like the way I was ever again.
Why? Why will you? Why do you? Why do you have to?
It doesn't add any real benefit to my life. And I think that the hardest was that first week.
Sure.
And I was drinking about 3-4 times a week, a couple beers, maybe some wine with dinner, but then on the weekend, ascend, maybe 2.
Yeah.
We're going on the yacht. Come on, we gotta drink.
Yeah.
Or I'm going out on this date. I gotta get loose.
Yeah.
All these stories that we tell ourselves.
Yeah.
And I have never felt more clear, more focused, more on purpose, more in tune with God, more just spiritual all around. My body's improving. I've got 2 extra days in the week. I've just got all this energy, and I got my life back, I feel like.
Yeah.
Just from cutting that one decision is a ripple effect on everything.
And on top of all those things that you just shared, your labs, your health is drastically improving, because alcohol on any level is toxic. It is poison for the body. And I'll tell you, after running thousands of labs and seeing the guys who write on their intake form, I drink 2 nights a week, I drink 4 nights a week, I drink every night of the week, you can look at those labs and you can just see how they have destroyed their health.
Yeah. Talk to me about FitScript and how it came about.
So FitScript is 2 years old. It's a total human optimization company where we take 120 plus biomarkers. It turns into 80 pages of data.
I've seen it.
80 pages, right? You're going to get on with a functional medicine practitioner. That practitioner is going to design all your nutrition, all your training, all your supplementation based on your declining health trends, based on nutrient deficiencies. And then we're going to put you with a coach to help you achieve success. And what is success? 3 things. Reverse the declining health trends, help you perform at your best, and help you achieve aesthetic excellence. But it's all based on data, right? So it's test, don't guess. The reason that I created that company is, as you know, I've been in this space for 12 years. OG on Instagram with the first PDF training program, hit max, right? We crushed it. Over 250,000 copies sold. Did custom meal plans. We did over 100,000 of those. People on every continent. Supplement company called Detox Organics. And all of that was great. We changed a lot of lives. But I couldn't do those things again. I needed something to sink my teeth into that could really make a difference based on data. Because now you get tested, you go through our program, you get tested again. We're improving your biomarkers. We're adding years to your life.
Yeah. One thing that I really appreciated about FitScript that, and I'm not affiliated, as you know, in any way. I'm not paid to say this or anything. But what I really liked when you gave me a demo and showed me how it all works is anytime you get a blood test anywhere else, like LabCorp or something else, it's like these are like the normal levels. But you guys take it one step further and no, this is like what would be optimal for you.
Sure. Yeah.
Right. And I like that extra detail. And also, this is going to sound a little silly. I like how it's color coded with a nice road gradient.
Yeah.
I like the report.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really cool what you guys have done, and I honor that because it's based on data. Let's not hide behind how you feel or this or that or whatever. Like, let's actually get down to the root cause of it.
Let's let data drive the decision making. And you touched on something that I think is really important to cover here is the normal healthy ranges. Those ranges are huge, right? And they're just taken based on the average of the populace.
Yeah.
Have you been in the mall lately? Right? Take a look around. Have you been at a fair? Have you gone to the airport? Have you been on a plane? Like, just take a look out at what average is.
Yeah.
And that healthy, normal range is not healthy or normal. It's normal, but it's not healthy. And so our ranges, right, are nice and tight. And this is how we can see disease before it's starting to happen or as it's starting to happen, decades before it has a chance to manifest and actually become a diagnosis.
That's what I really like about it as well, man, is I don't want to speak for everyone here, but the type of people that you are trying to help, obviously you want to help everybody, but you can't, right? But the type of people who are actually done, fed up, like you when you had your daughter, like something had to friggin' change.
Yeah.
This gives high-performing people who don't identify with normal an actual blueprint for how to get to that next level with their health.
100%. I would agree.
Yeah, so I really appreciate that. But I do want to kind of dive a little bit more into the sobriety thing.
Sure. Yep.
Walk me through those 11 years, was it, where you were abusing?
11, 12 for sure.
11, 12 years where you were, abusing drugs.
Abusing, yeah.
Walk me through what identity you carried back then.
So, early 20s, I was first barbacking and serving. I went to a nightclub. I barbacked. Within 6 months, I was managing that nightclub. This was in Milwaukee. And the other 3 that the guy owned. So I literally went from barback to managing all 4 of his nightclubs within 6 months. So I was the man, right? Like, get me in. Michael, can you get me in?
Yeah.
Get me on the list.
You got the status now.
Absolutely had the status, right? And so it was the status. It was the alcohol. I couldn't drink one drink. It was 1 to 6 to shots of Hennessy. I was with NBA players, and then that led to who's got the 8 ball, who's got the below.
Yeah,
I was looking for it within an hour, right? I was looking for it, and so my identity was wrapped up in being that guy, right? Being the club manager of arguably the top nightclubs in Milwaukee at the time, and being that. So my identity, I mean, I was that guy. I was the guy at the parties. I was the guy who was getting invited to all the parties, all the after parties, the parties at the club.
Well, anyone who's ever done any drugs like that knows that, like, the person that has it automatically is everyone's best friend.
Yes.
That night.
Yes.
All the girls seemingly love you.
Yes.
For you, right? Like, to totally just for you and how great it was.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm fly. Yeah.
Oh, but all that to say, and here in Miami, it's like an epicenter, but all around the world, right? There's people right now who feel like they are that guy.
They do.
What's your message for that guy?
Give it up for a month and just watch, right? Like, your friends will disappear.
Yeah.
Right? The girls will disappear. It's not reality. I mean, sure, okay, it's reality in the moment, but it's all a facade. And so when are you going to pull the mask off?
Yeah.
Right?
How lonely was that feeling that first month you quit?
Oh, that struck a chord. Extremely lonely, because that group of friends, that's all we did.
Mm-hmm.
All we did was drink and do drugs.
Yeah.
That was it. We weren't ever sober. And so if that's what you're doing with them, and you know that if you get with them, that's what you're doing, and you're like, hey, I can't do that anymore. I'm not willing to do that anymore. Well, then you don't engage. And so environment is huge, as you know, right? You're the 5 people you surround yourself with most. And once I gave that up shortly after, I moved to Arizona. I had to get away from it all. I had to just remove myself from the environment.
I can relate with cutting out the drinking, any bullshit. That first week, I was irritable. And I could talk about this because this just happened, you know?
Yeah, 2 months ago, right?
2 months ago. I was irritable.
Mm-hmm.
I was not really pleasant to be around.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was, for sure, a part of me was just withdrawing from the poison.
Sure.
But also, a part of my identity was being severely challenged because I've always been a high performer. I'm always trying to work hard and do the best I can during the day.
Sure.
But what drinking was for me was this logical separation and like, okay, now I'm done. I earned a few drinks. I earned to let my shoulders down.
Mm-hmm.
I would always joke to my friends like, oh, I'm just letting my hair down.
Sure.
My super long flowy hair. No, but like I told myself these stories and it became a part of my identity. And I think everyone who knew me started to just know me as that guy.
Yeah.
I'd pull up to places and be maybe sometimes like just maybe it's just one or two people drinking at like a whole thing. Like it's not even I just need an excuse to do it type of thing. And when I became aware of this stuff was really in that first couple of weeks because I'd caught myself, like I went on like a little retreat one weekend and you can relate to this, but like as an entrepreneur, especially early on, like you don't really get vacation time. But my closest thing to a vacation was like, I'm going to not work on Saturday. I'm going to try to not open my Slack or my phone or anything on Saturday. I remember I went to this kind of retreat sanctuary place but they had a really nice bar next to the pool. And I was like, well, like I'm going to go order a drink. And I caught myself. I'm like, no, I told myself I'm going to go at least 14 days just to like take a little break.
Sure.
That's how it started. Like, let me take a little break. And I asked myself, like, wait, why do I feel like I need this to relax? I just asked myself that simple question. Why do I feel like I need this to relax? And in journaling and breathing through that, and like, I was honestly using ChatGPT as a bit of a therapist.
I've done that before. That's a great therapist. Yeah.
I'm like challenging myself, asking myself these questions. I realized that this thing is a crutch to not feel my emotions.
Bingo.
I didn't want to feel.
Yeah.
I thought it was making me feel good, but it was just not allowing me to feel at all.
Exactly. I agree. And, you know, taking that a step further, you said something like, I used it to relax. Most of America is drinking on the weekends, right? And they talk about it as a relaxation, right? I'm going to take the week off. I'm going to drink all week, but I'm going to take the weekend off and I'm going to drink, right? Stress relief. That's not stress relief. That's adding inflammation, poison, toxicity. That is the opposite of stress relief.
Yeah.
People think, well, I'm just going to drink on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or even a couple of those days, and then Monday I'm back, right? They have effectively added more stress in the form of inflammation and toxicity than prior to the weekend starting.
Totally. And I felt that the good feelings start to compound at like week 2. But then week 3, I was invited to this, there's this place outside of Medellin in Colombia called Guatapé. It's a nice like getaway spot. A bunch of people have their like cottages type of thing, their fincas out there. And I was on the boat. And I don't know, it's the subconscious programming of when I'm on boat, I'm drunk or I'm having fun or I'm letting loose. All these stories again.
Yeah.
And I really wanted just a couple beers, man. Just a couple of cheeky beers. But I stayed true. I didn't do it. And now I feel like I'm stacking the wins.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm sharing this in such detail is because I know there's a lot of people my age or any age, it doesn't really matter the age, that like wants to do this, but they almost like don't know how. Like I'm kind of walking you through like what I did and how it worked for me.
Yep.
That third week, my Whoop scores are through the roof. Every day is green, 95% plus sleep. I hadn't seen that in months.
Right. I bet.
I'm feeling amazing. I'm vibrating higher. I'm just happier. But there's just still this nagging voice in the back of my head like, yeah, but you can have a couple of drinks and still get that. But for me, at least, I can very much relate with you. It was never one drink.
No.
It was never one. Like it was 6, 7 on, and then on the weekend, can't count. And there was a very, very strong moment for me when I went to one party, and it was an all-day party. We started at 11, and the Aperol spritzes were going, and then all day just drinking tequila, this, that. I just remember on the way home around midnight that day, I had this thought, this moment to myself. I'm like, how many drinks did I have today? I feel like shit. It's that like post-like you're not really drunk anymore, and you're just kind of in between, like just want to go to bed. How many drinks did I have? And I couldn't tell you how many drinks I had. That's when I knew, like, dude, that's not cool. If I had a kid today, would I be proud of the father that they have? And you can obviously speak to that, so clearly.
Yeah, and I think you take it a step further and you get your labs done while you're drinking, and then you go sober for 6 months, and then you get your labs done again. That information, right? Because that's like the real shit. Feeling hungover or not is one thing.
Yeah.
But actually seeing in the data that you are ruining your health is a completely different story.
Yeah. Why do so many young men suffer from low testosterone?
I think it's by design. I think we're under attack. I think male testosterone and men in general are under attack. I mean, if you think about it, right? And we'll talk about the reasons behind low testosterone, but if you think about it, right? The Matrix. Can we have that conversation on this show?
Of course.
Okay. So what does the Matrix ultimately want? One word. First word that comes to mind.
Submission?
Control.
Yeah.
And submission, right? Because that's another form of control. They want to control us, men. And so if you have a man with optimal testosterone, what is he? He's strong.
Capable.
Right?
Protector.
Confident. Right? Cognitively, he's there. Right? He can voice his opinion, typically, right? Is that what they want?
No, you can't control that.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What do they want? Meh. It's okay. Right? Submissive, passive, don't really care. Right? Guys with low testosterone don't really care. Guys with testosterone have low motivation, low drive. They're depressed. And so now they're depressed, and what do they get when they go to their therapist? Medication.
Yeah.
Right?
Should keep them further suppressed and...
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Keep them numb, keep them suppressed. So you've got endocrine disruptors. You've got food with tons of artificial flavors and dyes. Porn. You've got microplastics. Name it, right? It's all by design. And I'll tell you this. So, and I'm not an advocate of someone just going on TRT blindly. I've been on TRT for 8 years. I'm vocal about it. I'm not the guy like, I'm natty. I'm not that guy. I get my labs done. I am using testosterone TRT therapy to be optimal. That's it, point blank. I'm an advocate of it if it is needed, but only after the foundation is plugged. And what's the foundation? Getting your sleep right. Stress management. Hydration. Nutrition. Whole real foods from as close to nature as possible. Movement. Work on those things. Do as much as you can naturally. Get tested. Find out where your testosterone lies. And then and only then bring in TRT in the exact amount that you need based on your labs, guided by someone who knows what they're doing and is not just going to look at testosterone, but is going to look at all the hormones, the entire panel like we do at FitScript.
Yeah. You mentioned something really important about getting those baseline big blocks in order. I think we live in a world where everyone wants the magic pill and they want just some supplement to take or just something easy or whatever it is, right? Why do you think it's so difficult for people to just get those things in order? Like when it just seems so logical. And I'm not saying I'm perfect either, but like when it seems so logical, like, hey, dude, like, how are you sleeping? Like, what are you eating? Why is it so difficult?
I think it ultimately boils down to a lack of consciousness, isn't it? Right? We're busy. We've got kids. We've got bills. We've got stress. Things are going on that keep us from being truly conscious. You sit down and you are conscious, right? And you're in that moment and you're looking at your meal, right? And you're like, is this going to fuel and repair my body or destroy it? You're not asking that question every time you eat. But arguably the most important decision of your day is what you put on your fork.
Mm.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Right? 3 times every day, at the very least, 3 meals, right? Most of us are snacking, but you think about it, right? Breakfast, lunch, dinner, 365 days a year. It's a lot of decisions. And nobody, right, is thinking at that depth, at that level. It's just like, oh, gosh, there's a Starbucks. Let me get some egg bites, right? Because you're in it. And it's go, go, go.
What's wrong with egg bites?
Let's talk about what's wrong with Starbucks.
Yeah, please.
I don't know where the egg bites come from. I don't know. I think they're microwaved. I don't know if
They're definitely
I don't know where the eggs are coming from. You know, they're packed. I mean, like we could destroy the egg bites
For sure.
but better than cheeseburger and fries at McDonald's.
For sure. When I was down in Colombia the last 6 months, just right away when I'm eating the food, the eggs are this dark orange. I just felt amazing. The minute I come back to the United States and just eat food here, I start to feel bloated. I start to feel sick.
Yep.
I start to just not feel optimal.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that?
Because big food is in bed with big pharma, and it's a trap, right? Big food is going to poison you so that you need the solution, which is big pharma, right? And it's this loop.
Yeah. It's a profit machine. And it goes back to what you were talking about before about keeping people kind of sick and weak.
Yeah, I mean, empty hospital beds don't pay the bills,
Mm-hmm.
right? A cured patient is a lost patient. As sad as it is, I think we've all awakened since COVID, at least most of us, right? Since that 2020 and since that whole debacle, I think a lot more of us are more conscious of what's actually going on out there. At least I hope.
Yeah. Talk about stress management.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone wants to be less stressed. How do you actually achieve that? How do you do that?
It's hard to be less stressed when you've got the device, right? Because immediately you're in sympathetic.
Yeah. Just anxiety machine.
Bang, 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 bang. Messages. Right? My wife. Right? Like my kids. Emails. Shit. All the demands. My boss. Like it's immediately like all day you're kind of like doing this. Like, shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
So the phone is tough. But again, by design. Blue light is toxic. What that phone, the EMFs, and what the phone is emitting in the way of light and vibration, energy, is toxic. It's extremely toxic.
How do you navigate that?
Tough in this world, right? Tough in the modern, in the modern world. I'm always wearing glasses to protect my eyes, for sure. I'm getting off at a good time at night.
What time is that for you?
7:30, 8 o'clock.
Okay.
I'm in bed by 10:30, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm always even up until then. So light comes down, meaning sunlight, right? Sun sets, immediately I put my blue light blocking glasses on.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Sun sets, immediately I'm turning all the lights off in my house. My wife hates it. She's like, I can't see. I'm like, that's the point. Because 2,000 years ago, before the advent of fire, when it got dark out, you couldn't fucking see. There's something about circadian rhythm and the natural rhythms of life, right? Sun comes up, we wake up.
Yep.
Cortisol spikes, adrenaline spikes. Sun goes down, we should be calm, restful, in a place of rest.
Yep.
There's an app that's very, very expensive, but probably the single greatest piece of technology that I have brought into my life, and it's recent. It's called New Calm. It's $3,500 for this app, and I think it's 5 years you get to use it. The different vibrations and sounds and different things. They've got something for when you wake up called Ignite. They've got stuff for focus, for clarity, for concentration, and then they've got something for deep sleep. Unbelievable. I added that probably 2 weeks ago. Game changer.
Wow.
Changed everything for me. I not affiliated with them. If you can afford it, get it. It is awesome.
I've used an app that's a little bit cheaper than that called Brain FM.
Haven't heard of it.
That does something similar, but definitely probably not to that degree and level that I think anyone listening to can benefit from. Like if you can't afford $3,500 for an app, and it has all types of different sounds for sleep, for work, for focus, for calming, for all different stuff, and it's helped me a ton. I love that app.
Similar to this, it sounds similar.
Yeah.
There's a lot of research behind the vibrations and sounds that this app uses, and it's just like hard to explain it. It'll muffle this, but it's absolutely like it's just like I'm just like I'm at night. I'm just like yes,
for sure. So we talked about nutrition, stress management. How about sleep? What's your nighttime routine look like?
Yeah. So starts as soon as the sun comes down. Sun comes down, light in the house goes off. I've got red bulbs, red light.
Oh yeah, same here.
You know, so I'm putting the red lights on. Glasses are on. Phone. I'm usually reading. Or listening to an audiobook. As soon as the sun comes down, I'm setting the temperature in my room to 64, 65 degrees. Super cold. I'm immediately doing that. So dark, really, really cool. And the kicker here, right, is a lot of people like to eat before bed. Crushes your sleep.
Yeah, man.
Crushes it.
The Whoop says that the second largest impact on shitty sleep after obviously alcohol is eating.
Yeah.
And I have seen this even as recent as a couple weeks ago, where I thought I could get away with it. I thought I could have a late dinner, and I've been getting to bed a lot earlier since not drinking.
Yep.
First of all, socially, I'm saying no to a lot more shit.
Yeah.
And then also I'm just naturally in a proper circadian rhythm where I'm waking up early, chilling with the birds, having my peace and quiet in the morning around 5:30. I'm just tired. I'm just naturally tired around 8 and 9:30, 10. I'm trying to be lights out.
Sure.
But for me, the story I used to tell myself, again, going back to the alcohol and the eating and all this stuff, again, it's all these stories. I'm going to keep saying this throughout the podcast because these stories become beliefs, which become our identity.
Yes.
Right? And so some of the stories I was telling myself is like, oh, well, I'm brown. I'm an immigrant. We eat dinner late. It's like, why can't I break that chain? I don't live with my family. I'm not a child. I'm not a slave to this thing. Again, a story I tell myself.
Yeah.
Same with the drinking. When I would be drinking, it's at night. I wasn't really a day drinker much, except for that crazy party. But so removing that type of stuff has naturally helped my sleep so much. But I've also added a few other things. I don't know if you do this stuff as well. I put some nose tape that helps me open up got a deviated septum, played football for years. This nose is destroyed.
Yep.
But also eye mask.
Okay.
Complete darkness.
Yep. Darkness is huge. I don't wear an eye mask, but darkness is paramount.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. Just to give the listeners something to think about when it comes to eating too close to bedtime. Right? So what happens after you eat? Your body digests that food.
Mm-hmm.
How can you rest if your body's digesting? There is no rest if your body is working through and processing all that food.
Mm-hmm.
So minimum of 90 minutes, minimum. But if you can, the sweet spot is 3 hours before bed.
That's what I've heard, and I've seen it. The data, it's glaring. When I don't eat after 6 and I'm in bed around 9, 10,
right,
automatic in the green, great scores.
Yep.
The tough part is that though a lot of dinners and a lot of things happen later than that.
Yep.
And so it's managing that. You also don't want to be too anal about it, but I also think it's important most of the time to adhere to this type of stuff.
Well, the most successful people in the world do what?
Say no.
Bingo.
Yeah.
I find myself saying no a lot.
Yeah.
I find myself not participating in a lot of things. Is that living? I don't know. There's arguments to be made. There are moments, I'll pick and choose my moments, but I'm not just going to do that, right? I'm not just going to sacrifice my sleep the next day and being the best. Because at the end of the day, right, it's about being the best you can be every single day.
Yeah.
Happiness doesn't come from what you get or what you accumulate. It comes from evolving and growth as a human being.
Yeah.
You can't become the best version of you. You can't grow at your highest potential and capacity without rest, without sleep, without doing all the things that we've talked about on this show.
1000%. For me, I've been obsessed with this concept lately of being 1% better every day.
Sure.
And since the beginning of starting this show, like one of my purposes in life, like my main why for me is realizing potential and helping other people do theirs. And this show is me exploring how I can take things from people who I find successful, simplify that and make it digestible for me. And like, oh, you know what? Michael said this one thing. I think I'm going to apply that. I don't put my temperature to 64. I'm gonna do that because I notice when I sleep in a really cold hotel room, I actually sleep really well.
Yeah.
I'm going to start doing that. Those types of things. But realizing potential, to me, I feel like we all have this potential that's bursting at the seams. It wants to exist. And you know, one of my buddies, Michael Smoke, I just had him on the podcast. He talks about the highest timeline. You know, I want to exist in my highest timeline. I want to vibrate higher. I want to make the most out of this life.
Yep.
What are some 1% habits that you do to get better every single day?
First thing in the morning, don't reach for the phone, right? Because that is
I'm guilty of that, man.
I think we all are, even me on some days, right? But that's all that is influencing is just reaction.
And you start the day on such an anxious note.
Right. Immediately, we just talked about the sympathetic and the parasympathetic, right? Like immediately, right? You're like, oh, shit. And then you put coffee on top of that like everybody does. So now you're like, your cortisol spiked. You're putting coffee on top of that. You're up, you know, like all of a sudden, right? You can't calm down. You're in this stressful place from the get. So finding time to journal or read or whatever it is first thing in the morning, protecting the evening time as well. 1%ers say no. 1%ers protect their time.
Yeah.
They protect their energy. If you don't have good energy, you're not in my circle. I don't care if you're my mother, my brother, my cousin, my aunt. It doesn't matter if we're related or not. If your energy isn't vibrating high, I won't hang out with you. I won't give you time. So that probably is perhaps the biggest thing. But I'll tell you something, right? There's no stopping a man who knows why and where he is going. Right?
Yeah.
Why and where. Solve those two things, right? Because clarity breeds confidence. And if you're the greatest project that you will ever work on, you are the greatest project that you'll ever work on. I'm the greatest project that I'm ever going to work on. Your listeners are the greatest project that they will ever work on. All right? You have to get clear because that's going to breed confidence.
I love viewing ourselves as a project. I've never heard that before, but we are the great project. That is what life is. And I love the constant improvement. I think what I've done in the past is beat myself up when I fall down. Like, fuck.
We all do at some level, though.
I did it again.
Right.
Damn it. You know?
Yeah.
And then it's this vicious cycle and this negative feedback loop. How do you, for people who are stuck in that negative feedback loop, how do you reverse it and make it more of a virtuous cycle?
Well, just like you're stuck in that negative feedback loop, at some level, you learned that. Like that is learned. That is a learned behavior. Just like you can learn it, you can unlearn it.
Yep.
Right. So it's being conscious. We go back to consciousness, right? Being conscious in that moment. right? Are those thoughts abundant thoughts? Are you open? Are you in a place of love? Are you going to receive all that life, this world, God, and the universe have to give to you? And the truth is that you're in that negative loop. You can't. Now, there's one thing that I've recently started doing. I distill my day. You're familiar with GPA, right? Grade point average. Goals, purpose, and actions. So start your day with a GPA. What are your 3 goals for the day? What's your purpose behind those 3 goals? And what actions are necessary to take in order to achieve the goals?
Wow.
Right? If you don't have an aim, if you don't have an aim, if you don't have goals, right, then you're just, the wind blows to the left, meaning you get a message, right? You react to the message, you react to the email, you react to your boss, coworker, whatever. But if you've got goals, you've got an aim, and you know what the purpose, right, the why is for achieving those goals, and you distill it down to a handful of actions, how do you lose?
You can't. I recently, like the last 40 days or so, started doing this exercise where every morning I have this printout of this sheet with my different goals for the day. I frame them as wins because I know I'm going to crush them.
Mm-hmm.
I have my different identities, and this might sound crazy to you, but like I believe that we can switch different identities.
Sure.
And like I could step into the identity of an athlete, of an entrepreneur.
Can't step into the identity of a woman, though.
Hey man, look, it's 2025. I could do whatever I want, Michael.
You can't be a woman, Deep.
But my pronouns, bro. No, so I step into those different identities as well, and I look at what a type of person who is a top 1%er would do.
Yeah.
And I sign this contract with myself every single day.
Powerful.
I actually physically sign this thing every single day. And so what you're describing to me sounds very, very similar to that.
Sure.
And I want to incorporate, I want to see again, like I'm doing this all selfishly, man. I'm just trying to learn and absorb from you. So this is really cool. I want to start implementing some of that into my sheet because this is the forever project. My sheets, I'm going to keep adapting it and tweaking it and changing it. And those identities are going to change over time. How do you view identity?
Yeah.
Now, as you're sitting here today?
It's one of the things that we teach inside FitScript is that identity shift, right? Because if you're coming in and you want to drop a bunch of body fat, perform better, right? All of these things, but you're stuck in an old identity that doesn't believe that that's possible for you, then how are you going to get there?
Totally.
So the identity shift is first. And I'll tell you one thing that Einstein said is the imagination is more powerful than knowledge, right? Knowledge is what is. Imagination is all that could be, right? So imagine yourself as this fit, strong, capable, confident guy, right? Instead of
this loser, this
well,
drug addict.
If you've got kids, and I love to talk to guys, men who have kids, right? You can do one of two things. You can be a warning, or you can be an example. Ooh, right?
That's powerful, brother.
Right? So if you're a warning right now, you are literally showing your son what not to do, although he is going to do that because your son or daughter isn't doing what you say. He's doing what you do. And if you're not showing up as the best version of you every single day, then you are showing him that that's okay. You need to be the man in his life that shows him, your kids, what's possible.
Wow. And you embody that, brother. How old are you?
I'll be 44 in November.
Not many 44-year-olds look like you, my friend.
Thank you. Yeah.
But it's not just how you look, dude. It's how you show up. I see it in your content. I've seen it from how I've met you, from how you shake anyone's hand, from the content that you put out to inspire, from the different companies that you run to actually help the problem instead of just talk about it on a podcast.
Sure.
You actually are giving people solutions. You're giving people a blueprint and a path, and you're leading by example. So I don't really have much of a point there other than to say I honor that, bro. Like that's incredible. Like
I want to be the man that you see online here always.
And I could just say to anyone listening or watching this, what you see is what you get. I really, really, I love that energy, man, and you truly embody it. Talk to me about that shirt you're wearing right now.
Fuck aging. So I got this inspiration from Brian Johnson, who has his Don't Die movement. Are you familiar with it?
Yes.
So there's a lot that I love about Brian, and there's some things that I'm not so crazy about. But at the end of the day, he's pushing boundaries on health span and lifespan. Don't die. Crazy mission. Amazing. That's this, right? Fuck aging. I'm not going to succumb to Western medicine and the sick care system. I am not going to subscribe to the walker with tennis balls, the oxygen tank. I'm not going to subscribe to hospice and cancer and disease. In fact, when I hear that, I say cancel. There's no cancer. I don't believe in it. I'm not subscribing to it. So the whole premise behind fuck aging is pushing back against what society has led us to believe is the norm. You're just going to get older. You're just going to get slower. You're just going to wither away. Not here. It's not happening.
It's just what everyone's accepted to be true. And again, it's just a story.
Just a story.
Wow, that's powerful. So is fuck aging going to be some merch that I can buy? Like what exactly is it?
Yeah, so I have the domain, FC Aging. I think there's like some coming soon page there right now. Trademark has been filed. For now, it's merch. Likely a supplement line at some level, but I have to really think that through because I can't put just supplements out there in the market, right? They are a dime a dozen. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
It's got to be something very, very special and different.
And I think there's a movement there, man. There's a movement to be had. And I think you can inspire a lot of fathers and you work with so many and have helped and transformed so many clients through FitScript, through, why don't we talk about non-fungible mushroom
Yeah.
as well?
Yeah, so that company was started 3 years ago. We have high quality, 100% organic mushroom fruiting bodies, different blends. The difference between us and some of the other companies out there is we're combining these really high quality organic mushrooms, which are 100% fruiting bodies, which is the top of the mushroom, right? The good shit.
Mm-hmm.
We combine that with other synergistic herbs like warapawama for libido, beetroot for blood flow, other ingredients like rhodiola and polygala for cognitive function. So that's the premise behind mushroom, the non-fungible mushrooms brand.
And look, again, not affiliated or anything like that, but I've tried it.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Incredible.
Yeah. We've got some shilajit and some cacao. So in the morning, I don't grab coffee first, and I suggest that people listen and wait like 45 minutes to an hour to grab coffee. Like let your cortisol spike on its own. Bring coffee in an hour later. And so what I do is I'll put the functional mushrooms in with some cacao and some bone broth protein, some chocolate bone broth protein. I'll make a nice chocolate drink. I'll have that first. I'll wait an hour and then I'll grab some black coffee or a double shot of espresso. And
talk to me about the quality of the shilajit that you guys have, because I know that it's pretty pure stuff.
The best. Yeah. So it's we have two. We now have shilajit from the Himalayas. But what you're talking about is wild American shilajit from Colorado and Utah. It's pristine. It's distilled 3 times. Basically, instead of what you see on the line, which is the tar or the pills, this is actually a liquid. It's a live aqueous extract.
It comes in this dropper thing.
Yeah, it's droppers. You drop it in with water. It's much easier to take. It's extremely bioavailable.
It doesn't taste great though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry, bro. It does not taste great. No. Sometimes you just gotta take. I just gotta dump that thing.
Just gotta do it. Yeah.
Talk to me about peptides. Okay, this is everyone's talking about peptides these days. I want to understand, what are peptides?
Yeah.
Explain it like I'm five.
The first thing to understand is our body produces over 7,000 peptides. Right, your body is producing these molecules. Right, they are small chains of amino acids, right? Sequences strung together, which form a peptide, usually 50 or less. 50 to 100 is considered a polypeptide. Over 100 is considered a protein. And so peptides are or act like drones to create and send signals to specific cells to work more efficiently. And what does work more efficiently mean? Recover faster, right? Increase cognitive function, add muscle, lose body fat, a series of things based on the peptide and the sequence of it.
Okay. You've got a peptide company.
Yes.
Talk to me about it.
3 weeks ago, we launched a for research-only peptide company
Okay.
called Real Peptides. It's realpeptides.co. So I've been using peptides for the last 5 years. And as I'm building FitScript, as of about 6 months ago, people started asking me questions about peptides. Where you get them? What are you doing? And at the time, right, I was getting them from other sources. I started bringing peptides into FitScript. So now it's labs, it's the nutrition, the training, the supplementation based on labs. Now we can bring in peptide therapy to get even more favorable outcomes faster. So I start bringing them in. The guys have crazy success. I mean, unbelievable success. And so instead of bringing other people's peptides in, I said, you know what? I probably should just launch a peptide company. And so that was the premise behind it.
Where are they like produced, manufactured, that sort of
So they come from all over. They're, here's the interesting piece that a lot of peptide companies won't tell you is a lot of really good raw materials come out of Hong Kong.
Mm-hmm.
They come over and then they're manufactured, put together here in the U.S., and then we ship them out of Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Makes sense.
Everything is tested at the manufacturing facility and then third-party tested as well for purity and sterility.
What are the most popular peptides right now?
Yeah. Well, the GLPs are going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You hear a lot of horror stories about GLPs. I think there's a
Yeah.
lawsuit about Ozempic is going through some legal trouble,
Okay.
right? Where people are becoming paralyzed, losing their sight, all kinds of different things. That's just as a result of the peptide therapy being mismanaged.
Okay.
Overdosed, not looking at the other lifestyle habits that are paramount. Then you've got BPC 157, body protective compound 157. You've probably heard about that.
Yep.
Pair that with TV 500, and now you've got the Wolverine stack. You've probably heard about that. One of the peptides that I love to talk about is MOTS-c. It's a mitochondria-based peptide. It's great for visceral fat, great for mitochondria angiogenesis, which is just going to create healthier mitochondria, energy factories of the cell. The healthier mitochondria, the better the better your energy, the more output. I think mitochondria health is extremely underrated and probably not talked about enough as one of the single most important things in determining longevity, lifespan, health span.
If peptides are produced in the body, why are people kind of scared of them? Or, yeah.
I think anytime you need to inject something synthetic, it brings some concern. But if you look at the studies, if you look at risk factors, and you are looking at risk factors associated with big pharma meds and peptides, like they're not even close. Right? If you look at the efficacy and the studies behind how well they work, it's unbelievable. I mean, the research continues to come out, and a lot of it has been done on animals, but more and more is being done on humans. And just through my experience with all of my really high-profile clients and then in my own life, I just think they're the future of medicine.
Are peptides a magic pill?
There are no magic pills. No, there are no magic pills. You have to do the work, and you come in and you have your labs and we allow data to drive the decision-making, but, we're going to optimize your sleep. We're going to help you work on stress management, right? We're going to make sure that you're taking all the supplements that you need based on nutrient deficiencies. More often than not, 99% of the time, you're going to GNC and you're saying, hey, let me get a little bit of that, a little bit of that. Or you're asking the guy behind the counter to say, hey, what do I need?
Yeah.
But he doesn't know who you are. He doesn't know anything about you.
Yeah, that's one thing I've struggled the most when it comes to supplements is like every day there seems to be some new thing that you should take. And it's like, how do I actually know what I'm deficient in and what I really need to take, or like what I can get away without taking, or what I only need to take when I'm sick or when I'm trying to recover better or whatever. And, it seems to me like FitScript kind of solves that problem, because it also then comes with the interpretation of the results and then specific recommendations and coaching.
Through our labs, we were going to tell you exactly what you're deficient in, to the T. You're going to know what to take, how much to take, and when, and you're going to know why you need to take that.
Mm-hmm.
For the guys listening, right, I'm assuming most guys that are watching this aren't taking DHEA, aren't taking selenium. Those two, we're looking at thousands of labs, two very, very, very important ones that most guys are deficient in.
And what benefit do you get from taking those?
Well, DHEA is a hormone,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's important for hormone optimization. Very, very important for that. But some of the other ones that you know about, right? Vitamin D. Most everybody is deficient in vitamin D, but that's one, right? That's marketed. It's like, hey, you need vitamin D.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of other ones, right? Glutathione, which is a master antioxidant. Vitamin C, which is something that we know of, but we don't take enough of.
Mm-hmm.
But again, right? Like, imagine trying to guess, how much vitamin C do I need? Do I need glutathione? Do I need DHEA? Do I need selenium? How much vitamin D do I need to take, right? Magnesium. I mean, there's a host of them.
Yeah.
How are you going to figure that out?
Yeah. Are you allowed to share how much FitScript would cost the average person?
Yeah, it starts at $6K and goes up to $100K, six figures, depending on the package, depending on how much time you get with the doctors, depending on if your peptides are included, depending on if your bioregulators are included. I'll tell you something crazy. So we run a multitude of tests. Labs, 120 plus biomarkers is sort of the foundation. That it starts with that. But we do hormone mapping, we do speed of aging, we do gut optimization, stool test, we do mold and toxicity tests. A couple of things that I think are worth mentioning. Our speed of aging test can tell you one by one how old your organs are and how they're aging against your chronological age. We can then bring in bioregulators from Russia to improve the biological age of your major organs one by one.
Whoa.
It's insane. One more thing worth mentioning, mold and toxicity, a test that very few people do. What people are doing is they're just like, well, let me just get a detox, right? They're buying it from Amazon or their favorite influencer, and they're saying, oh, well, my mom did it and she felt amazing. What are you detoxing? Is it the same as what your mother needed to detox? How do you know? So our mold and toxicity test is going to look at 25 different heavy metals, 25 different molds, 20 different environmental toxins, and then all of our protocols are custom based on the individual, based on what actually needs to be detoxed. Now, here's the kicker. Our chief functional medicine officer has worked with 52 cancer patients in his career, successfully. Out of all 100% of those patients, you know what was found? High toxicity in the form of heavy metal and or mold. 100% of those people. The doctor wants to give you chemo, radiation. Never looking at what kind of toxic load is in your body.
Just think of how many people would pay $6K to catch these things before and be preventative. But that's never what our healthcare system, or like you like to call it, the sick care system, is ever going to promote.
Never.
Switching gears a bit, but still kind of on the same element. I mean, one thing that you and I both share a strong belief in is change your environment and you change your life.
100%. It's literally that simple.
Talk to me about the impact of changing your environment.
Yeah. Well, I go back to the beginning of this conversation, right? In an environment that was destructive, a lot of drinking, a lot of drugs. My friends, right? God bless them. I loved them. It was an amazing group. It's just what we did. And so, right, like that was just the environment that we were in. Bars, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday fun day, Monday. 31, I burned the boats and I moved to Arizona and I get myself in the gym health environment, and all of a sudden my health soars. I'm becoming the healthiest version of myself. So environment is paramount. Not easy to do. Not easy to say goodbye to the people that you love.
Totally.
But necessary if, again, right, you've got kids, we can tie it back. You've got kids, you need to show up and be the best you can be. And if you are putting yourself in an environment that is not conducive to the best you can be, then you have to remove yourself from the environment. And I don't care who the fuck is in that environment. I don't care if it's your cousin. I don't care if it's a best friend. If you are going to be the best you can be and grow until the day you die, evolve and get to know yourself, right? Until the day you die, you can't do it in an environment that's holding you back.
Totally. Oh, and me and Jamie, my business partner, are big believers in change your environment and you'll change your life. And we've done it many times and we still keep doing it to this day. And, you know, that going back to that alcohol conversation for me, like it made me reevaluate a lot of friendships.
I bet.
It made me think that there are certain people who are just drinking buddies or certain people who may not have my best interests at heart.
Sure.
May not really be as close as I thought. We just did this thing together. And it's fun. I'm not going to sit here on this podcast and say that there are not fun times had and good laughs and whatever. But you just don't need the juice to do it.
You don't. I had some amazing times.
Yeah.
And I wish all of those men the absolute best.
Mm-hmm.
My hope for you is that you don't ever go back to it.
Mm.
Period. You don't need it.
Yeah.
You don't need it. It's absolute, bottom line, poison.
Yeah.
Forget anything else. All the amazing, the feeling.
Yeah.
How good you feel in your recovery. Like, it's toxic.
Yeah. And the longer I stack now, the more I'm starting to find as well, like, it feels even better to still go out and do those things and whatever.
Yeah.
But then wake up in the morning and get after it again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Seltzer, lime,
Yeah.
orange, lemon, whatever it is,
Yeah.
have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Social media.
It's
It's changed your life, hasn't it?
changed my life. It's, I love it and I hate it at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
It's changed my life.
Talk to me about the power of putting out content.
Yeah. So I go back to 31. My very first YouTube video is still there. Morelli Fit. So Morelli, my last name, and then FIT.
If I go to your YouTube channel right now.
Yep. May 2013.
Wow.
Yep. I was in my mom's basement. So this is bankruptcy, divorce, literal rock bottom.
Wow, dude.
Knocking on my mom's door. And I move into her basement. And there she's got a Bosu ball, some dumbbells, a kettlebell, a bench. And I just start stringing workouts together. Now, this was after I had my transformation. This is after I put effort into whole food. I mean, I basically went paleo in a nutshell. And then I did high intensity interval training. And then I basically would start posting workouts on YouTube, my workouts on YouTube. iPhone, nervous as hell. I'm like going back and forth.
Yeah.
I mean, you could see it.
Yeah.
But people fell in love with that.
Yeah.
That was real.
Mm-hmm.
This is real. That was real. Being vulnerable and just sharing. I've been vocal about my addiction since I came online.
Yeah.
And I've shared in real time. So I shared my transformation in real time. I've shared tens of thousands of others' transformations in real time. I've shared creating products, programs, and services to help those people in real time. I have shared all of the certifications that I went through in the beginning in real time. My traveling to Chicago for my CrossFit L1, going to Arizona to work under James Fitzgerald. I've shared all of that in real time and essentially documented that entire journey. And as a result of that, I've got one of the, if not the most loyal followings online you could ever imagine.
It's incredible, man. And what I really love about that story is you didn't have a perfect setup.
No.
You didn't have all the equipment. You didn't, I mean, you could, like, everyone has so many excuses for not starting. And I can relate, like, when, just real quick, my story of like starting this podcast back in 2019, I was working a government job in Canada for the federal government of Canada in the pensions department. I wanted to shoot myself. It was so boring. I'm sitting in a cubicle, hating every single minute of my day. And all my friends gassed me up to start this show. And eventually I listen, and in my tiny attic studio apartment, like this shitty little apartment, I start the show. I didn't know you needed lights. I didn't know that the camera stops recording at 30 minutes. I had to have like 4 or 5 shots of alcohol just to feel confident enough to like record, you know. But I'm still proud that I can go back to that first episode in 2019 and be like, hey, like I started.
Right.
Here we are over 100 episodes later, and like I just want to keep going, and I want to keep sharing this message of realizing potential, of just be 1% better. I want every episode to just be 1% better. I want to connect 1% more. I want to improve my body 1% more, my mind, my business, everything. And it comes back to being grounded in that purpose. And, you know, I'm so grateful every day that I wake up and I don't have to work that shitty government job anymore.
I bet. Do you do any mirror work?
Mirror work, like standing in front of a mirror?
Standing in front of the mirror and just saying amazing things about yourself?
No.
Yeah. Powerful.
Yeah?
Yeah. In the morning, anytime you shower, you know, like, I am, right? I am strong. I am capable. I am powerful.
What I do is in my contract with myself on that sheet, I read these things out loud, but maybe I'll try it in front of a mirror.
Look at yourself in the mirror.
Yeah, let's
Look
do
at
it.
yourself. Look at yourself in the eyes,
Do it.
right? And then also know, right, that you're just borrowing this body.
That's powerful.
Right? You're just borrowing. This is just a shell.
Yeah.
And you're just borrowing this body.
What does Michael Morelli say in the mirror in the morning these days?
The things I just shared with you.
Yeah.
I'm capable.
Yeah.
Confident. I'm powerful. I am. And then oftentimes, I'll just have a conversation. What your dad said to you when you were 13 at the flea market, doesn't matter. It's going to be okay, Michael. It's always been okay, Michael. You've always figured it out.
Yeah, you are enough. Yeah.
You are enough. Yeah. There's something about it, you know, I think many of us have probably done the journaling. There's something about looking yourself in the eyes.
Yeah.
Right? And then, you know, you go real deep and it's like, well, who am I talking to right now? Who am I talking to right now? Who is the guy that, if I'm doing the talking, who am I doing the talking to?
Are you a very spiritual person?
Spiritual is probably the way to describe it. Yes. Yeah. I am connected. I will periodically throughout the day sit and vibrate so high that I become one with everything. Like I just melt into this.
After going sober, did you ever experiment with psychedelics?
I have, yeah. And occasionally I'll do mushrooms occasionally. Never tried LSD, but mushrooms for sure. I've never done like a heroic dose, like 5 grams or better. Usually it's like a gram and a half.
Yeah, the max I've done is 3.5.
Yeah, I've never done that much. I've always had an amazing time on it, and it's always been medicine.
Yeah.
It's not, let me do this to get
an escape or something.
High.
Yeah.
It's, what can I learn about myself through this experience? What do I need to let go of? What do I need to see, hear, feel today?
Those are incredible prompts to just in general, shrooms or no shrooms, just to ask yourself to check in.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I had a tactical question about social media for you, kind of completely pivoting from that spiritual conversation. But
let's do it.
You crush it on so many different platforms and show up in a different way on all of them. How do you manage just showing up differently on every single platform?
I have a team.
Okay.
Yeah. I have someone that manages my X. I have someone that manages my IG. And I have someone that manages my YouTube. Thank you for saying that I'm crushing it. I do feel good about the content we're putting out. The engagement is really, 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 really rough. It's something that I think about, but I took 2 years off. Took 2 years off. I went dark for 2 years.
Why?
No, I got burnout.
Yeah?
Yeah, I got burnout. You know, for the better part of a decade, I was talking about fat loss. And if I wasn't talking about fat loss, no one cared. right? Like I would
yeah, it's
post
like it puts you in a box a bit, and then you kind of become almost a slave to your
fucking
own
box, man.
Yeah,
The fucking fat loss box.
yeah,
It's like if I didn't post about fat loss, there were, it's like nobody cared. And it was just, right, like at the end of the day, fat loss is fat loss, right? Like, so it became 20 ways to lose 20 pounds and, 7 things to detox. It was just all you did was change the wrapping paper, but the actual content was the same. And it just got so redundant and so bored, and I just got burnt out. And so I stopped producing content, and the engagement has suffered. It's slowly coming back. But X, believe it or not, is where I have the most engagement. I'll go viral a couple times a week on X. I'll get 8 million views, 12 million views, 20 million views. X is crazy for me.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's awesome. What is Michael Morelli excited about right now in life?
Well, I'm excited about changing the world, changing the health of the world. So my mission in life is to advance and elevate human health. Elon Musk is, love him or hate him, he's a role model to me. And I look at Elon Musk and in what he's doing, and I say, gosh, you know what? I want to be the Elon Musk of health and wellness. And so the companies that I am creating are all in that space. You've got FitScript, you've got real peptides, you've got non-fungible mushrooms, and you've got fuck aging as sort of this paradigm of companies that sort of fit synergistically within FitScript, sort of being that umbrella. But we've got plans. We're building an app. I want to get to a place where we're manufacturing, instead of 10 different bottles of supplements because that's what you're deficient in, making one pill or one supplement with 3 or 4 or 5 pills, whatever you need, that address all of your deficiencies, that are made custom as soon as we find out what you're deficient in.
That'd be crazy.
And then getting to a place where I've got a really, really close friend who's a regenerative farmer. It's where we get most of our food. He has consulted other farmers to create regenerative organic farms. So the big dream is to tell you exactly what you need based on labs, what we're doing now, nutrition, training, supplementation, creating the supplements, but then also shipping you the food and working with other farmers, setting up other farmers in geographical areas all over the world to essentially take care of your food. So if you live in California, right, we're going to ship your food from California. It's going to be fresh. It's going to be exactly what you need based on what we see in your labs.
So it looks like there's not a magic pill yet.
Not a magic pill yet. FitScript is the closest thing to it. Now, there's a lot of work involved, and sure. Don't even, you'll speak to a health advisor. We'll make sure that it's a good fit. But if you're not willing to do the work, please don't waste our time.
For sure.
We're just not interested.
Totally.
We're just absolutely not interested in the people who are not ready to make a change, because you will have to do the work. I cannot do the work, but I can give you the most comprehensive, bespoke blueprint based on data, give you a level of certainty that you've never had before. That's what we're truly giving, right? When somebody comes to us and they're like, I've tried everything. It's like, sit down, let me talk. You haven't tried this, right? You've tried different diets, the carnivore diet, the vegan diet, the fits your macros, the paleo, whatever it is, right? But you tried those things and you didn't have total belief and certainty that that was what you needed. Same thing for supplements. You're taking them without the data. You don't know with 100% certainty that that's what you should be taking.
Yeah.
Training, do you know that more often than not, guys come to us and they're overtraining, creating more inflammation and more stress in their body, which is driving, which is, how do I say this? Which is actually getting in the way of their results. If they would scale back to training, they could actually see results faster.
Yeah.
So what we're giving is certainty, because we're giving you all of this data and you're sitting down and you have the most in-depth understanding of your body that you've ever had in your life. And so you see this and you're like, oh shit, okay, I'm on this trajectory right now, because we're all on a trajectory. I'm on this trajectory right now and this doesn't look so good. So it slaps you in the fucking face. First and foremost, you're like, holy shit, this is the wake up that I needed. Now I see that if I don't quit drinking and I don't get my sleep right and I don't plug my nutrient deficiencies, that I'm probably due for some diagnosis here in the next 5 to 10 years. That's first. Secondly, we're saying do X, Y, and Z based on data. Now you have a level of certainty that you've never had before. And what happens when you are certain, when you are clear? You have confidence, leads to motivation, leads to momentum. And so we're taking guys who never thought that they could be fit in their life to being certain and confident and completely becoming unrecognizable in a matter of months.
It's incredible, man. You're doing God's work. This is incredible stuff. How do you want to be remembered when it's all said and done?
I want to be remembered first and foremost for showing up and being my best every single day, no matter what. Just being remembered as somebody who always gave it 100%, who did it the right way, with ethics, with moral, with integrity. I've turned down millions of dollars in deals and sponsorships because it wasn't something that I could use. To this day, I have people reaching out. First question is, send it to me. I need to use it because I'm not going to recommend it, talk about it, unless it's something that I'm genuinely using, that I genuinely believe in. So I want to be remembered as a man who did the right thing always, a man of integrity. I want to be remembered as a strong and capable man, someone who showed up for his kids and showed his kids every single day what was possible, showed them that they could be anything that they could, show them that they could be anything that they want to be without limitations. And I want to be remembered for changing the health of the world. I want to be remembered for giving the male species, the male population, hope. I want to be remembered for tipping the scales on obesity and some of these nasty diseases that are so preventable.
Yeah. I can honestly say, brother, you exemplify all of that.
Thank you.
You're well on your way, my man.
Thank you.
It is an honor to have you here on It's Not That Deep today.
Great conversation.
I'm sure we could sit here for hours and
Yeah.
keep going, but this is what I like to say is the first of many.
Love it. Man.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. The work you're doing is great. Thank you for the amazing, thought-provoking questions. We went deep, and I hope everyone listening had some key takeaways.
Appreciate it, brother. Where can people find you, connect with you,
Yeah.
and learn about your different companies?
Super simple. So Morelli, which is my last name, MorelliFit, Morelli Fit on all the platforms. Instagram, X, and YouTube are my favorite three. FitScript. Oh, I'm not wearing the FitScript shirt.
It's okay.
FitScript. So FitScript.me is the site where we're doing wellness optimization. And if you see me out and about, please come up and say, hey. Some of the best days of my life have been fans and supporters coming up to me and just saying, hey, you changed my life. Hey, you made an impact. Because that's, when you come into FitScript, I am very, very involved. I do some of the coaching still myself, and I'll always do some of the coaching. I'll never be removed because it's the validation that comes from helping men realize their full potential. And if I'm not involved, how do I see it? How do I experience it? How do I feel it? Very, very important for me to be hands-on, to help these men realize their full potential so that I can be validated from the work, the good work that we do.
And through that helps women as well. That helps all humanity.
Yes.
So it's been an honor, brother. I appreciate you.
Thank you so
I
much.
honor you. Thank you for everything.
Appreciate it.
Just remember, it's not that deep, baby.